Hey everyone, welcome back to my Java series. Today we are diving into one of the most important topics in programming, loops in Java. If you have ever wanted your code to do something again and again without writing it repeatedly, then this video is definitely for you. What exactly is loop? A loop is a control structure that allows you to execute block of code multiple times until a certain condition is met. Instead of writing the same code again and again, let the loop handle it for us. Here you can see system.out.println. Hello. We return this three times. That's three lines of code to print the same thing. Instead, we can use a loop to make our code easier. Types of loop in Java. There are three types of loops in Java. First one is for loop, while loop, do while loop. Let's talk about while loop first. What is while loop? A while loop is used when you want to repeat a block of code as long as certain condition is true. It keeps checking the condition before each loop. If the condition becomes false, the loop stops. Think of it as like keep doing this while something is true. The syntax for while loop is while condition inside while block we write the code to be executed. We pass the condition inside this parenthesis and inside while loop we can write block of code to be executed. It's time for our real life example. Imagine you have a few beautiful plants on your balcony. This is your balcony. You love them so much that you check them every morning. Now you don't just pour water for no reason. You only water these plants while the soil is dry. Once the soil becomes wet, you stop watering. And you do this every day repeatedly like a loop. That's how exactly the loop works. Here in this example, I said there is a condition. The soil should be dry so that you can water your plants. Now, based on this example, we are going to create a example program called water plants. Go to Eclipse. Let's create a new class called water plants. Main method, we are going to initialize one variable called soil is dry. Soil is dry. Remember from our variables and data type session, we have a data type called Boolean which has only two values, either true or false. Our data type is gonna be Boolean equal to initially our soil is dry. So it's true. We are gonna create one more variable called water cups. This tells us how many cups of water we use to water the plants so that we will know if the soil is completely wet. We haven't watered the plant yet, so I'm setting initial water cups to 0 with an integer variable water cups equal to 0. Since the initial conditions are set, now we are going to introduce our while loop to check if the soil is dry. While soil is dry, here inside the parenthesis we are passing the condition which is soil is dry equal to true. We have already initialized the condition. Now we are passing it through the while loop. Soil is dry, watering the plants. If the soil is dry, watering the. If the soil is dry, the condition is true. We are going to print this statement. Soil is dry, watering the plants. Let's use the water cups variable. Water cups plus. Here plus is an increment operator. It adds 1 with existing value. That is water cup equal to 1 plus water cups. So if the value of water cups is 1, it will add another with it, which gives us result 2. And this happens each time when the condition is true and stop the incrementation once the condition becomes false. So we should know if the soil is wet to stop overwatering. For that, I'm going to use if statement inside the while loop. Here we are going to use if statement inside the while loop. If water cups greater than or equal to 3, here I'm saying after 3 cups of water, the soil becomes wet, which makes our initial condition to become false. So we have to make the condition false. Soil is dry equal to false. Let's print a statement. Soil is now wet. Stop watering. Outside the while loop, we are going to print all done. Time to enjoy your green balcony. Once the condition becomes false, it should print this statement. Let's go through this code again. Initial condition soil is dry is true. So the while loop starts. Inside the loop, it prints soil is dry, watering the plants. Every time the loop runs, 1 cup of water is added. Water cups plus, which is incrementation. Once we reach 3 cups, the soil becomes wet. We set soil is dry variable equal to false. The condition is now false. So the loop stops. Then we print all done. Enjoy your green balcony. So the condition soil is dry controls the loop. As long as the condition is true, the code repeats. When it becomes false, the loop stops. Just like stop watering when the soil is wet. Now let's run this code. So as you can see in console, initially the soil is dry. So we are watering the plants. Still the soil is dry. So we are watering the plants with second cup. Now the water cups are 2. Once you pour all 3 cups, it is printing soil is wet. Stop watering. Finally, all done. Our plants are happy. And remember, we should always make the condition false at the end. If you don't, the loop will run forever. I'm commenting this line. Okay. Now let's run this code. See, as you can see, it runs infinite times. It's running forever. Let's terminate this. So remember always you have to make the condition false. Do while loop. A do while loop in Java is just like a while loop, but with small difference. In do while loop, the code runs at least once, no matter what the condition is. That's because in a do while loop, do block executes first and the condition is checked later. So even if the condition is false, the loop runs once before stopping. Syntax for do while loop is do. Inside this do block, we have our code to be executed. Finally, we have while loop and it has its condition. In this, do block is executed first. Notice that this semicolon comes after the while condition. That's very important. I'll give you one real life example. Imagine you are in the kitchen cooking your favorite soup. You want to check if it tastes perfect before serving. Now think like this. You don't know whether the soup is ready or not yet, but you will still take at least one sip to check the taste. So what happens? First you take 1 spoon of soup. This is the do part of do while loop. Then you check the taste. This is the while condition part. Here by taste I am saying it's the condition which makes the soup tasty. If it is too salty or bland, you will taste again. If it is less salty, you will add extra salt. You will taste again after adjusting, and this continues until you are satisfied. So the loop continues. Even if the soup was already perfect, you will still tasted it once before deciding not to taste again. That's exactly what a do while loop does. Now let's go to Eclipse. Let's create a program based on our real life example. Let's create a class called soup. New class. So main. Let's create a variable. soup, we need a perfect soup. So that I'm creating a variable soup perfect equal to initially we don't know, so false. Data type is boolean. Initially we don't know whether the soup is perfect or not, so the condition is false. Do block is always going to be executed. So taking one sip of soup. In the do block, anyways, we are going to take one sip of soup. Let's say in the first test, we have decided the soup need more salt. So needs more salt. After adjusting salt, we are gonna taste again. We tasted it. Now we feel the soup is perfect. So perfect equal to we are setting the value true. Now we are setting the condition is true because we like the taste. While let's pass this condition here. Over here, we are passing the condition inside the while loop saying this code needs a perfect soup. Since the condition is true, it will print the statement. Now let's run this code. See, we got our output. Initially taking one sip of soup, and with that do part happens, and we have decided we need more salt. Finally, our soup is perfect. Even though we didn't know whether the soup was perfect or not, we still tasted the soup once, just like do while loop. So do while loop runs at least one time, no matter what the condition says. Let's look at one more example of do while loop with numbers. Main int I equal to 10. Here we have assigned a value I equal to 10. Now do part. Inside the do block, we are printing the number concatenate I value, which is our number. Then we are going to use incrementation. We are going to increment I value by 1. Here plus means incrementing by 1. Now the value becomes 11. 10 plus 1, 11. While I less than or equal to 5. We are passing one condition I less than or equal to 5. Within the while loop, we have this condition. So what's our value? 11, right? Is 11 is less than or equal to 5? No, it's not. So the condition is obviously false. If we run this code, even though the condition is false, the do block will execute once and our output will be 10. Let's check that. We got our output 10. Even though our condition is false, the do block will execute once. So we got our output as 10. That's all about while and do while loop. In next session, we'll learn about for loop and nested for loop. Thanks. See you in next session. Bye.